happy life, happy journey. Welcome, welcome to Walking the Path. I'm so grateful to be here with you. I love the title Walking the Path because um, it kind of says that I'm walking this path and people join and I join people and they join me on the path. And when we're on the path together, I might say, hey, I got a map, but it's the terrain that I've been on, and you've got a map of the terrain you've been on, and we get to compare maps and share, and then I get to give you my map, and you give me your map, and then we can explore more territory together. And the territory we're exploring is consciousness. So I'm super excited. Hey, everybody. Welcome in the Instagram world. Welcome in the Facebook world, the YouTube Live world, the everything world. Welcome in the world. Welcome, world. Welcome to the World Wide Web. Welcome. So here we are. We're at Rhythmia today in beautiful Rhythmia. Oh, my goodness. Hey, Esther Schmidt. What's up, Esther? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Hi, everybody over here as well. Good to see you. So we're at Rhythmia. Taita Juanito is here at Rhythmia this week. Taita Juanito. Hey, one love. What's up? Taita Juanito. Taita is a title bestowed upon people who are leaders of their tribe, typically people in their 40s or 50s. And Taita Juanito, this title was bestowed upon him in his teens. He's one of the youngest people to be, one of the youngest leaders of the tribe to ever be anointed as Taita. And he comes here and the energy changes here. The energy changes when he's here. This is the power of individual transformation. This is where what's available for us all. It isn't like Juanito is some special guy. He is a special guy, but he's no more special than you or me. Really, the truth is that, good morning, Dave. Good to see you. The truth is that what's available to him is available to all of us. What was available to Yeshua bin Yusuf is available to all of us. Even for Yeshua said, and ye shall do greater things than these. So what's available, when Taita Juanito comes on property, the whole vibration of the property changes. Guess what? That's what's up for you. That when you walk in the room, when you walk into the office, when you walk into some place, you bring that atmosphere with you. You bring your own atmosphere. So when you show up, peace shows up. When you show up, love shows up. When you show up, compassion shows up. When you show up, abundance, prosperity, creativity, excellence show up because you're bringing it with you. You're not getting it from the world. It's coming from within. That is what's available to you. That's what happens each week at Rhythmia. People come to a greater understanding of the truth of their wholeness, the truth of their oneness with all of life. And if I'm one with all of life, nothing can be against me, right? If I'm one with life, if I have a deeper realization of my oneness with life, nothing can be against me. That realization is how we move into grace. Our topic of the day. Grace. What is grace, right? Grace has a lot of connotations. And here I think of the song Amazing Grace, right? Hi, Diane. Peace and blessings from Canada. Great to see you, Vicky. Hey, everybody. I'm so grateful. Diego. Good morning, brother. Good. Tim, great to see you. I'm so glad you guys are here. So, you know the song Amazing Grace? Many of you probably know that the song Amazing Grace was written by a man who used to be one of the most brutal slave ship captains that ever existed. This guy had a reputation for being absolutely brutal. And he was leading 5 ships full of men and women that were enslaved. When I was in Ghana, I said, the slaves were in this room, and someone corrected me. They said, these aren't slaves. The people that were in this room were men and women who were enslaved. That distinction is super important because no matter what the circumstance is, the truth of who they are whole beings. So, Rod, good to see you. Welcome, everybody. So, Amazing Grace, this slave ship captain, the worst of the worst, the most brutal of the most brutal, leads 5 ships to the Middle Passage across the Atlantic to come to the New World to bring these enslaved men and women. And the ship, then there's a huge storm, and all the ships go down, and every single person is killed except for this guy. And he wrote that song, Amazing Grace, the morning of him being alone after the shipwreck, the only one surviving. Amazing grace, that even the worst of us, even the worst, have the potential of renewal, the potential of returning to a truth, to a higher vibration, to a higher frequency. So grace is that which uplifts us even when we don't know it. Grace is that thing. We've all experienced it. It's got a big religious and Christian connotation, right? But here, this is the truth. And I think we can all see it if you look in your life, if you look back at your life and see the moments in your life where your back was against the wall, where you had no rest, there was no quarter of peace. You were about to give up. Like, I can't do this anymore. My back's against the wall. If you look at your life in those moments, those were the most transformative moments of your life. You wouldn't be who you were today unless that happened. And we wouldn't have wanted to go through it on the front end if we knew. But on the other side, it's the transformative moment. That's grace. And think about every time you were about to fall, every time you stumbled, every time you were about to give up, and something helped you make it through. And here's the truth. If you're sitting here listening to this today, then something helped you make it through. The truth is, everything always works out for you. Everything always works out for you. How do I know that? Because you're here right now. Because if it didn't work out, you wouldn't be here, right? Everything always works out. That's a great affirmation. Everything always works out for me. Even when I can't see it, everything always works out for me. I can look back in my life, because when I'm in the middle of it, like right now, when I'm in the middle of it, it's hard to see. So we have to anchor the moments of high resolve. Howard Thurman wrote an essay, a brief essay called Anchor the Moments of High Resolve. Howard Thurman was really the guy who brought nonviolence to the Western world. He was Martin Luther King's mentor. And anchor the moments of high resolve is for this very reason, because you've experienced grace, you've experienced a blessing, you've experienced a miracle, you've experienced something lifting you when you didn't think you could do it, something that helped you make it through. You've experienced it, but then we forget about it. And then we're in the middle of something again, and boom, we need to remember. So we anchor those moments. Look back at your life right now and think of all those times that there was, as Reverend Michael calls it, a grace note in your life. Something that just, helped you out right when you needed it. Something that lifted you right when you needed it. Something that helped you shift your perspective. It was, you couldn't see. All of a sudden, you could see. Wow, that's grace. Now, what does grace have to do with the equinox? The equinox is equidistance between the winter solstice and the spring solstice, if you're in the southern hemisphere, or the spring solstice and the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere. Today is the equinox. Today we are exactly halfway in between. Today is the day when everything is equal hours of day and night. That's today. And then from now on, the days get shorter and the nights get longer until hey, Sean, Tim goes, our higher self is always co-creating with us, helping us and guiding us. Let me put that up. That's beautiful. Helping us and guiding us, plus so many other beings in the divine. Life is truly beautiful. Thank you, Tim. Amen to that. So that's exactly it. That's exactly it. That our higher self, that other aspect of us is pushing us a lot of times. And so it might feel like it's not grace. It might feel uncomfortable, right? But those are our higher self pushing us to learn the lessons that we need to learn for the unfoldment and expansion of our consciousness and the unfoldment and expansion of our awareness. So What does all that have to do with the equinox? Well, the equinox is this beautiful kind of symmetry, this beautiful halfway point where everything is equal and then it gets unequal. And then we move towards equality and then it gets unequal. Wow, isn't that interesting? That life and the systems of life, the rhythms of nature seem to move in this way where things get balance, out of balance, order, disorder, expansion, contraction, expansion, contraction. Interesting. I love this because we can see in life, in nature, we can see that the rhythms of life and the rhythms of nature are a parallel experience. They're a reflection of what's going on within us and what's going on in the spiritual realm, because it's all one. The spiritual realm in back of the material realm, the invisible in back of the visible, the formless in back of the formed. And so the equinox is a wonderful moment to remember the order and balance and harmony that already always are here in life, that is our grace, that order, balance, and harmony are always here. They're always seeking to emerge in our lives, and that we can take this moment today in nature and see that the equinox is another moment where we can anchor this high resolve that everything actually comes to order. Everything actually returns to harmony and balance. All systems, physical and biological, seek homeostasis. This is the truth. And so this moment today, we can use this energy of the equinox to help catapult us into the next stage of growth and development. Now, these next 3 months, today's exactly 3 months till December 21st, the winter solstice. Today is exactly 3 months. Let's take this time. Let's use this energy, this energetic alignment that's happening right now in space and in the earth, between the earth and the sun. This harmony, this synergy, let's use it. And now look to this time in the next 3 months to be a time of inward reflection, to take a moment and begin to see what are the habits as we come to the end of the year. What are the habits? What are the patterns, the habitual patterns that are holding us back? What are the things that are looking to be shifted and changed? None of these things are bad. They served us up till now. And now they no longer serve us because we're growing. So I love this example. My wonderful teacher and mentor, Michael Bernard Beckwith, shares this example of the chicken and the egg. So the chick is in the egg and everything's cool, right? Everything's cool. Chick's got everything it needs. It's eaten. It's got, but it's growing, right? The chick's growing and it's pooping and it's farting, right? So, and hey, Rebecca, it's pooping, it's farting, and things are starting to get uncomfortable in that egg. Chick's getting bigger, egg is getting smaller because the chick's getting bigger, and then you got the gases and the toxins and all that, and the chick thinks, like us, boy, everything would be so much better if I just had a bigger egg. If this egg were just bigger, everything would be so much better. Do we think like that? Yeah, like, oh man, life would be so much better if I just had a better job, made more money. Life would just be so much better if I had a better house, bigger car, more vacation time, right? If there was some sort of increase in my life, my same life, just bigger. I just want everything to stay the same, but bigger. A little bit more room, a little bit more, whatever it is. But the truth is, we want that because we think we're safe and comfortable. We just need it bigger so we can stay comfortable. But that shell, that eggshell that served us, it served us to protect us, right? That eggshell, it's no longer serving us, but we're afraid to break through. We're afraid to crack that shell because it's all we know and we're comfortable. It would just be so much easier if it just got bigger. But when we break through, what's on the other side? A world bigger than we could imagine. More. And we wanted more. We wanted to increase our life. The bigger life than we could ever imagine is out there. Those systems, those patterns, those habitual patterns, those compulsive behaviors, the things that we do that we want to change about ourselves, those were all behaviors that served us. They got our needs met for a while, and now they're bankrupt. Now that's a fiat currency. And so this is the realization of the very things that we think are hindering us. The very things that we think are the things that are blocking us are the very path to our unfoldment, the very path to our real enlightenment. As we let them go, as we break through. They're not bad, they served us, but now they no longer serve us and they're ready to go. That is the process of life. So grateful, so thankful to have this realization that we can learn from the equinox, this moment, this day, this time. Everything in nature is singing to us. It is singing a song of life, a song of love, a song of abundance, a song of prosperity, a song of joy, a song of beauty. It's singing its song. And so often I'm so caught up in how uncomfortable and smelly my egg is, I can't hear the song of beauty and joy that's constantly being broadcast. Let's see. One Love says, I'm reading The 5 Levels of Attachment by Don Miguel. So appropriate for this time of release. Well, I got to read that book. I don't know the 5 levels of attachment. One Love, thank you for sharing that. But I love Don Miguel Ruiz and I love the 4 agreements. So Tim Rogers, the unknown is a marvelous and scary place, although necessary for our growth and evolution. Amen. Okay, so the unknown. Let's talk about the unknown. The unknown. So there's three realms of knowledge. There's what I know I don't know, and what I don't know, right? What I know I don't know, what I don't know, I don't know. I know how to speak English. I don't know how to speak Russian. And then the greater part of my knowledge is what I don't know, right? So Tim is talking about the unknown outside the egg, right? The unknown outside the egg. It is this big amorphous mass, and it gets a little scary, right? But here's the thing. We're drawing from the unknown. We're drawing it to us. This is the process of conscious evolution, where there's the familiar here and my surroundings, and the unfamiliar, the unknown. And so the first thing we do is start to make some inroads into the unknown by drawing it to us through comparison, through metaphor. We begin to make comparisons between what we don't know and what we know, so we can bring greater understanding of what we don't know. First level of the development of consciousness, metaphor. We're starting to, there's something out there that I don't know. Let me get a little bit more familiar with it. Next level of the development of consciousness, metonymy. We start to break things down. We start to take that unknown thing. We've made little inroads in there, and now we start to make distinctions. We start to see the differences of things inside. It's no longer amorphous and unknown. It's now becoming distinct. We have distinct parts. We're breaking things down into their constituent parts. Then the next level of the development of awareness and consciousness is synecdoche. Synecdoche is a rhetorical trope, a rhetorical linguistic format that is like the part for the whole. The king is the head of the state. So once we made our inroads, metaphor, and then we started breaking things up into their constituent parts and dividing up and making distinctions, right? Now with synecdoche, we can start to make broader associations. I can connect this part and this part. I can make connections. Now I'm starting to reconnect and make sense out of all the parts that I broke up. And then finally, the highest level of conscious development is irony. That's right, irony, ironic revision. Because once we've made inroads, once we've broken it all down and gotten its constituent parts, once we've made connections that weren't there before, now we can play. Now we can play with it. We can have fun. That is a high state of consciousness. Because if you think about the greatest people on the planet right now, the greatest spiritual minds, is Sadhguru, the Dalai Lama, Michael Beckwith, Joe Dispenza. Well, I guess Joe Dispenza is kind of serious, but he's pretty funny too. All these people are pretty funny. Like the Dalai Lama is not a real serious guy. Doesn't mean he's not devoted. Doesn't mean he's not reverent, but he's not serious. Bishop Tutu, Nelson Mandela, Gandhi, these guys were lighthearted and sweet. The greatest spiritual teachers, lighthearted and sweet. Ironic revision, baby, all the way. Okay. So the unknown, this amorphous thing, so we just crack through the egg and it's okay. We don't have to figure it all out. We're going to make some inroads. We're going to just make a little headway there. And then we're going to And then we're going to make some distinctions. We're going to start to get familiar. And then we're going to make connections. And then once we make connections, we're going to play and we're going to have fun. This is the process of life. So enjoy the ride, enjoy the process. So this is grace. This is the way it's already happening. We don't have to do anything. It's already happening. It's already happening. It's already underway. This is the process of life. The equinox reminds us we don't have to do so much. One of my favorite biblical quotes is, "Consider the lilies of the field. They toil not." And yet I assure you that Solomon in all of his glory is not arrayed as beautifully as one of these. The lilies of the field, they toil not. What does that mean? It means they're not worried about whether there's enough nitrogen in the oxygen to maximize, to biohack that oxygen, to biohack that soil so that they can grow, get the biggest flower and optimize their output. No, they're just blooming. They're just doing their thing. They're not worried if it's going to rain or if a bird lands on them and poops on them. They're just blooming. They're just doing it. Consider the lilies of the field so that we can be joyful even in rocky soil. We just do our best. We just bloom, baby. Just bloom. And each of us, I find myself so caught up in comparison. I don't know about you guys. I find myself so caught up in comparison, so deeply ingrained to compare how I'm doing to others. And it's more than just my bank account or my whatever output of work or my oeuvre, whatever, right? It's comparison even on how productive I should be, what I should be doing at night, what I should be doing, all this stuff in my head, right? We get so caught up in comparison that it truncates sometime my own ability to just be me and to realize that my path is a little different. That my soil might be a little rockier and my blossom might not be as big as that guy's over there, but that's my blossom and it's beautiful, baby. And I like my rocky soil, right? I mean, like whatever it is, I am expressing everything that's available to me right now. That's all we can ask, is to be fully self-expressed in every way that we can. And we don't have to try so hard. We don't have to struggle. Because the truth is, just like the equinox is happening now, there's grace. Every day, in every way, every moment, we're so filled with grace, we don't even realize it. You know, have you ever seen those movies, those catastrophe movies? Some sort of apocalyptic movie, where it starts out and it's a normal day and the guys getting the paper and people are riding their bikes on their suburban lawn. And then all of a sudden, everything changes and you go, I wish I had that normal day again, We don't realize how full of grace our lives are. I had a friend whose husband, he's a paraplegic now, and he said, he was telling me the story of before he had his accident, he didn't want to mow the lawn. He was like, I hate mowing the lawn. It's awful, and he was saying, man, I would give anything to mow the lawn right now. So grace is in every moment of our lives. We just have to open up our aperture to see that we're blessed beyond imagination in the minutia of our lives. I got a place to lay my head today. I got clean water. I have enough food for my kids. That's grace, baby. Because what's everybody worried about? Food security and power security, energy security. These are all the things that we're worried about, right? In just the heartbeat, in the flash, all of the systems that support us, all the grace that's supporting us, that delivers the food to our grocery store, that has the full shelves, we saw it with COVID. All of a sudden, all those systems started to collapse. So it's great to realize how full of grace our lives are. How full of grace. I get to come in, sit down, press a button, and I'm speaking on the World Wide Web. What do you know? Right? Like, holy moly. We don't realize all of the things that are supporting us, all of the ways in which we're blessed, all of the ways in which life is rising to give us everything we need. All of our needs are met. Now, when we anchor into that consciousness, all of our needs are met. When I anchor into that consciousness, I build moment by moment a consciousness of all needs met. And guess what? What we think about, we bring about. Where our thoughts go, our energy flows. Or where our energy flows, our thoughts go. I don't know, one way or the other. What we think about, we bring about, right? Our thoughts become things. And so this is when we can anchor into, on a daily basis, moment by moment, how really blessed we are, how really fortunate we are, even though shit's going wrong out there and I had a bad interaction with my boss, or I'm fighting with my wife or my husband, or my kids are, going crazy and I'm worried they're going to get whatever. We can look and see in the minutia of our lives how grace-filled we are. And then that helps us to return to an awareness of grace in our lives, and awareness that really our needs are met. And as we build moment by moment this awareness, my needs are met right now, my needs are met right now, right now I'm okay, right now my needs are met. We build moment by moment by moment, so that we bring this consciousness of all needs met with us. And there is a biblical statement for this. To he who has, even more shall be given, and to he who has not, even that shall be taken away. What does that mean? It means that a consciousness of abundance begets more abundance. To he who has, even more shall be given, and a consciousness of lack begets more lack. To he who has not, even that shall be taken away. So if what we think about, we bring about. Where our energy goes, where our attention goes, our energy flows. And this idea of he who has, even more shall be given, then we know, we can see that the more productive thing that I can do, rather than doing something right this second, it's a matter of being. It's a matter of being in the awareness that my needs are met right now. I have a consciousness of wealth and abundance right now. It's the consciousness that creates the form. The field informs the form. The thought creates the thing. That is how it works. That's how manifestation works. From the invisible to the visible, from the formless to the formed. So, I think I just talked myself off my point. Okay. All right. We were talking about, building consciousness. There we go. So I build my consciousness of abundance. I build my consciousness of health. I build my consciousness of peace, moment by moment, not from any external circumstance, but from the inside, by seeing in my life all the ways in which it's already active, inviting more of that into my life. One of my favorite affirmations when something really good happens is, more of that, please. It's like I'm telling the universe, more of that. Yes, I'd like more of that. And when somebody else has experienced something that I'd like to experience, more of that, please. Oh, that's good information for me. That's really good information. Because if they're experiencing it and we're all one, then I get to experience it too. This is the last thing I'll say on grace. One of the best ways to increase the grace in your life is to be super happy for the success of others. That has been one of the greatest lessons for me, because there was a time in my life where it was like, oh man, why isn't that happening for me? And now it's like, oh wow, that's so cool. It's happening for them. That means it can happen for me. It's coming into my field of awareness right now. They're delivering that information. That's good information for me. Their good is my good. My good is your good. There's only one good. So if it's good for you, it's got to be good for me. And if it's good for me, it's got to be good for you. One good only. Okay. I could keep going. I had that realization of one good here at Rhythmia. I was in ceremony, and I wanted to. I was in ceremony, and there was these blessings, right? The holistic team, the healers would go out and give a blessing to someone, I'm sorry, I just saw this. Thank you so much. Megan just sent a really nice note. Thanks, Megan. So I'm sitting in the Maloka, I'm in ceremony, and I'm watching these holistic team members, the healers, go out and give people blessings. And this was like my first week at Rhythmia. I was like, I want a blessing. oh, okay, cool. I'm going to get a blessing. And then I see somebody coming towards me. I'm like, and they go right by. Okay. Oh, someone come. Oh, right, going. Okay, wait. Okay. That was like the first night. Second night, I'm like, I'm getting a blessing tonight. Tonight's my blessing. Right. Same thing. People walking by me, going every moment. I'd be like, yeah, okay. Finally, like the third night, I was like, I guess I'm not getting a blessing. And then I had this realization that as they were going out to give blessings to the other people, that those were actually my blessings, that their blessing was my blessing, right? So then I started getting excited about it. And I was like, oh, you get a blessing and you get a blessing. I was like the Oprah, like, oh, blessing for you. You get a blessing, a new blessing for you, right? And I was all like, yeah, blessing. Everybody gets a blessing. And then I had my eyes closed. And I'm like, blessing, blessing, blessing. And finally, this is like the third night, one of the healers comes up and he's like, brother, would you like a blessing? And I was like, yes, I would like a blessing. And the realization that your blessing is my blessing, that your good is my good, I can be really, really excited for you and everything that's going on for you in your life. That increases that, because now I'm not looking at it like it's happening for you and it's not happening for me and there's separation. I'm looking at it like if it's happening for you, it can happen for me because there's connectedness, because it's only one thing going on all the time. And that is the expansion of love and kindness, the expansion of love, the expansion of consciousness, an ever-increasing good. That is what's going on all the time, an ever-increasing good. And that is grace. And it's a good thing that it's the equinox. And there we go. Thank you all so much. What a blessing to be here with you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. God bless you. God keep you. God shine his face upon you and bring you peace. So it is.